Good morning, March the 7th. It's around 10 a.m. and I am back on the Appalachian Trail on the approach trail leading to Springer Mountain. So this is part 2 of the Appalachian Trail hike. I decided not to restart where I left off, which was Newfound Gap up in the Smokies, but to start from the beginning and just get my legs in shape and get the feel of it all again and make sure this is something I want to do all the way to Mount Katahdin. So, beautiful day today, nice and sunny. That's supposed to change tomorrow. Actually tonight, late tonight in the night, and into tomorrow. We'll have rain over the weekend, then sunny again on Monday. So I'll go about 6 days, and then I have to get off for spring break because family's coming to visit for a week, and then I'll hop back on. Hi everyone, we just summited the top of Springer Mountain. That took about 3.5 hours. No big deal. I was taking my time and enjoying it. And now I'm headed to Stover Creek Shelter. I remember the name properly. It's 2.8 miles from the summit. And that'll be my day for the day. It'll be around 11 miles or so, I think. Good morning. It is March 11th, Monday. So where have I been since my initial day of hiking? Well, recap. Started off Thursday, had a great day, camped. Thursday night, it started raining middle of the night, and it rained nonstop Friday and Saturday the whole time. So Saturday at Woody Gap, I contacted my wife. She came and picked me up because my sleeping bag had gotten pretty wet and probably wouldn't be very good for insulation purposes the next night. And I took a 0 then on Sunday, and today's Monday, the 11th, and I'm back on the trail. Dropped off of Woody Gap, going to Neal's Gap. It's overcast outside, but it's supposed to get up in the mid to upper 60s today. There is a chance of rain this afternoon, but Tuesday and Wednesday look good, so should be a good day for hiking. The trail coming out of Woody Gap has a bunch of boulders and stuff, not bad though, that you have to climb to get up. So looks like a nice day. I'll probably get hot. I start ripping the clothes off soon, coat that is, and to calm down. But pretty day. Hopefully it'll stay this way, and I'll try to do a few more videos as I go along. Particularly when we get up on top of Blood Mountain, which I'll be crossing today. Hi everyone, it's Highlander. I'm sitting down taking a break. I figured I'd take a second to, give you a little view of where I'm sitting, which is kind of pretty. It's getting cloudy, but I can see through. It's kind of dark on the screen, so I don't know how much you can see, but it's a nice long view. So to give you a little more information about my Friday and Saturday and some of the things that I learned. Friday I made it to Gooch Mountain Shelter. It rained from Stover Shelter in the morning lightly, and then it started raining when I got to Gooch Mountain pretty heavy all night long. It had thunderstorms. I had to close the vestibule area on my tent, which of course didn't provide much ventilation. Because of that, I had my first experience with what I'll call a wet out, where all this condensation was forming inside it's a Z-Pack Solplex, a Cuban fiber fabric tent, which are normally pretty good. But without the ventilation, when the large raindrops from the thunderstorms would hit the tent, it actually would create almost like a mist inside, because the condensation that was forming on the inside wall of the tent would just fly off of it from the heavy raindrops. So Come morning, I was starting to get cold. The tent was all wet inside. Even though during the night I was sopping it up with a rag and squeezing it outside. My sleeping bag was wet through in several places, which meant it was no longer providing much insulation because it is a down sleeping bag. So, other thing I learned from that was my tent is a single. And it doesn't, when I got there at night at Gooch Mountain, I was just covered in mud all over my legs because of the rain all day and the trail all mudded out. And there's no space inside that tent for me. Muddy clothes, muddy shoes, pack, which I don't want to leave outside. The vestibule's not big enough to cover the pack completely. So I made a decision at that point in time. I can see why a lot of people go with a two-person tent. It gives them more room to spread gear out. Particularly if it's wet and muddy at night, and a little bit more to carry, but it'll definitely be worth it. So when I get off for spring break, I will try to switch out my tent to a two-person tent. Not sure what I'll get at this point in time. But anyway, today so far it's nice. It's easy hiking, very good weather. It's around 55 degrees right now, which is perfect. So just want to give you all an update. Made it up top of Blood Mountain. It's about 1 o'clock. Weather's been okay. Had a little light sprinkle, but not much. No rain gear required. So I'm here. This is the 11th of March. And last year, on my first attempt, I was here. I don't know the exact day, but it was like the 20-something of April. So similar. It's very pretty. View from a different direction. And we're heading down. There's a white blaze going down. Hard to tell how steep it is, but it's pretty steep. So I'm at Neal's Gap, and this is the hostel inside, series of bunks. I am located right here, and not much into it. I mean, they have a common area outside here. Not much light in here. A little kitchen area, place to microwave, bathroom back in the corner there. That's pretty much it. So we'll stay here for the night. It's raining outside. And I'll head back out bright and early tomorrow morning. Good morning. It's Tuesday, March the 12th. I headed out of the Neal Gap hostel this morning. It was about 33 degrees. So I am pretty much covered up for the wind. Hopefully the wind's not bothering the mic. So we're headed out today. The minimum will be Low Gap Shelter. I may push on the 21 miles to Unico Gap. We'll see how I feel when I get to the shelter. And here's the scene from where I'm standing. Sunrise is coming up. And there's a lot of, it looks like water, but those are all clouds down there in the lower area. It's a good day for hiking though. It's supposed to be up in the mid-50s or so, I believe. We just passed through Hogan Gap, and it's 4.4 miles to the Low Gap Shelter, and 14 miles from there, from Hogan Gap to Unico Gap. So based on how I feel right now, I'm going to continue on Unico Gap, put me there around 6:30, which is well before sunset, which is just about 7:45 now that we switch to daylight savings time. Trails also become a little easier to walk on. Very nice. It's, no leaves in yet, but pretty scenery. We're up on a, hard to tell, but we're up on a walking along the side of the hill here, and none of the vegetation started in yet. A little early. Makes it nice, wide and open. All I hear are the birds chirping and all, but it's a real nice walk. And actually, partly cloudy skies for a change. Super nice to walk in good weather for a change. So onward. I left Low Gap Shelter about 30 minutes ago. And from there, it's been this old road that constantly goes up. But the beauty of being a road is it's not real crazy steep. So it's more of a tapered steepness. So we're gonna go up about 1,000 some odd feet. Coming up on Unico Gap, and one of the natural features I've seen here is these boulders. The trail kind of, here they did a nice job cutting the path through it, but pretty much going through the stones. But if you look up the hill here, pan up, the whole side of the hill is nothing but these moss covered boulders, and that come down, and this is all over this area of the mountains. It's not sure what causes it, but definitely it's an interesting geological feature. Good morning. It's March the 28th, and after 2 weeks off, I am back on the trail, but for only one day. I took the time off for spring break, and then we had some concrete poured for supporting the house and for our new garage, and I wanted to be there for that. So that was finished yesterday. So I am hiking from Unico Gap to Dix Creek Gap today, which is about 16 miles, and I am slack packing, which is nice. There are no leaves up here yet. We're starting to see them bud down by our house, which is about 2,000 feet below where I am right now. Today's hike started with about 1,000-foot climb, and I expect it to take about 9 hours. We are about 5 miles into the 16-plus mile day and came across this little rock outclave with a slightly hazy but very pretty view. So far, it's been a real nice walk. The view from one of the shelters, I think it's Trey Shelter. We're coming down Trey Mountain, so that's my guess. Kind of pretty going through here. It's pre-spring. May look a little barren, but you can see all the way around the trail, which is going downhill right now, including all the way up to the crest. Beautiful sky today, beautiful walk. We've got about 6 more miles to go. And it's downhill right now for a while, heading down that way.